Stop. Put your hands behind your back.
Please.
Stop.
Please.
No, please. Put your hands behind your back.
On August 8th, 2023, officers were sent to a BMW dealership where a recently fired employee was refusing to leave. The man had worked in the shop area of the dealership, where the temperature was reportedly around 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Don't tase me.
Okay. Why would I do that?
Huh?
Why would I do that?
Enabled, I got falsely tased by the police.
Oh, well, you met a good cop today, so
That's good.
what's going on today?
I have enough evidence to show. Hey, come
No,
to this hot shot.
We're going to talk right here.
I was just fired.
I'm sorry about that.
No. I'm actually not fired. I'm actually letting Bobby go.
Well, you were let go. He was let go, correct? Okay. All right. Does he need to leave?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have stuff you need to grab and get going?
Why?
Because you're fired.
The guy believed the dealership had violated some requirements because the workplace lacked proper air conditioning. He claimed this was illegal and part of a pattern of mistreatment. The officers remained calm and tried several times to de-escalate the situation. They asked the man to collect his belongings, including a large toolbox that he said was inside the building. The dealership confirmed the termination, and the officers informed the man that since he no longer worked there, he had to leave. They clearly stated that refusing to leave would be considered trespassing. The man insisted he still worked there and that the firing was not valid. He said he had legal evidence that BMW was at fault. He tried to sit down and refused to walk out. Officers warned him multiple times that if he did not leave peacefully, they would be forced to arrest him for trespassing. Still, the man remained defiant.
That's why they called me here. They said that you're
This
being
is
a little
illegal,
bit-
though.
Okay. Well, that's something that you can try to civilly sue them for, okay? But right now, they're letting you go, so they want you off the premises. And I'm just here to make sure everything stays peaceful.
Everything is peaceful, officer.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's get your stuff and get you on your way.
I belong here, sir.
Okay. Well, not anymore. So,
Illegally.
where's your stuff at?
My toolbox is inside.
Okay. Does this gentleman here know where your toolbox is? Okay. Could you go grab it for him? Thank you.
It's a big box.
What?
I have enough illegal evidence that BMW has been doing this to this dealership. It's 90 degrees in the shop. BMW is required to have AC, and it's ridiculous.
Well, that's something that you'd have to take to court and go against BMW. So, otherwise, we're going to get your stuff and we're going to get out of here. They called me because they were claiming that you might have been a little bit unruly or unhappy, and they're a little afraid. So that's why I'm here. So let's go get your stuff.
I would prefer to sit in the shop office.
Nope. At this point, you're not. If you're not working here, it's time to be going.
The officer told him they had no authority over the dealership's firing decisions and that if he believed it was unfair, he would need to file a civil lawsuit. At one point, the man mentioned that he had been falsely tased in another city, but the officer clarified that he was not under threat here. He wanted a peaceful resolution and did not want to arrest him. The dealership had made it clear they were uncomfortable with the man's behavior. The officers were patient and gave him more than 5 chances to leave without consequences. The temperature in the work area and the size of his toolbox became side topics as he argued his case. But none of those reasons allowed him to stay on private property after being let go. Eventually, the officer said time was up and the man needed to choose whether to walk out or be arrested.
What are we doing here?
I have rights to be here. I have not done anything
What's
illegal.
your rights to be here?
I have not done anything wrong. I've worked. I've been working on this car. I just took the car out. He's preventing me from...
From what?
This dealership is illegal.
Okay. Well, this is not something we can debate right now. I have no say in any of that. What I am here for is that since you have been let go, they now want you out of here. If you continue to stay here, you're trespassing. So I don't want to go that route.
This is my box.
Okay, well, I don't want to go that route. So if we can do things peacefully, then we can come back and get your box peacefully, all that stuff. But right now, you got to go.
Are you going to arrest me, officer?
If you don't leave, yeah. And I don't want to do that. I got much bigger fish to fry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a bad person.
I don't think you are. Well, no, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes, and if we're not walking out by then, I'm going to put you in handcuffs, and you're going to be arrested for trespassing.
Really?
Would that be okay? Okay. 84B is my backup close. All right, are we leaving, or are you going to handcuffs?
After being warned several times, the man still refused to leave the dealership. The officer told him again and again that staying there would result in a trespassing charge. The man kept saying he had done nothing wrong and that he had the right to be there. But under the law, once a person is told to leave private property and refuses, it becomes trespassing.
What are we doing? This is it. Your last warning.
Honestly, I'm not trespassing. I have not done anything wrong, officer.
Okay, are we getting up and walking out, or are you going with me?
It's your last chance to leave, man.
I've been cool with you this whole time. I've been talking to you like a friend, right?
No, absolutely.
Okay, so we're leaving or not?
Because your pride was going to jail with you. That's really all it is.
It's just gonna make shit a lot worse, you know what I'm saying?
The officer made it clear that jail was not the goal. He even said there were bigger problems he could be dealing with. But the man kept arguing about the hot conditions inside the shop and insisted that his firing was unfair. The officer stayed calm, asked him one more time if he was willing to leave, and warned him again that this was the final chance. When the man still refused, the officer had no choice. He asked the man to stand up and put his hands behind his back. The man resisted for a few seconds, but eventually agreed to leave. Still, it was too late. The officer had already made the decision to arrest him.
I'm not trespassing there.
Okay, well, they have verbally trespassed you. I'm going to issue a written trespass form. And I've told you several times, if you do not leave, I'm going to have to arrest you for trespassing. And I don't want to do that. Either way, you're leaving. So whether or not you go home on your own or whether or not you go to jail with me.
I want you to know everyone is safe here, officer.
Great.
I respect both of you, officer.
Yeah, but man, I told you, you got to be cops. So what are we doing? We need to walk out. You need to get up right now or I'm going to arrest you. I'm done trying to convince you. I've been trying to convince you for 5 minutes, giving you more than enough grace.
Do you understand
That, yes, it is too hot in here. I understand that, but that's not something I can do anything about. I have told you multiple times to be route being here. I know it sucks, dude. I hate it. I mean, getting fired, I've been fired for it, all right? Not from here, but...
I'm not fired.
Okay. All right,
Man.
stand up.
Okay, no.
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
You will go down face first.
The officer was clear that he had been given enough time to leave. This wasn't a sudden decision. It was after nearly 10 minutes of warnings and attempts to solve things peacefully. When he was being taken to the patrol vehicle, the officer asked him if he had anything illegal in his shoes, warning that anything found at jail would be another charge. The man said he didn't have anything on him. Before placing him in the car, the officer told him to kick off his shoes so they could be checked.
Stop. Put your hands behind your back. I promise.
Please.
Stop.
Please.
No, please. Put your hands behind your back.
84 directed. 84B.
What began as a workplace disagreement quickly turned into a police incident. The dealership staff had asked the man to leave, and when he refused, they called for help. The officers arrived hoping to handle things peacefully. From the very start, they explained that staying after being fired was not legal. The man refused to accept this. He believed he had legal reasons to stay, and he kept repeating that he had worked on the car inside and had done nothing wrong. The officer explained that whether or not he had done anything wrong wasn't the point. The point was that the business had asked him to leave, and they had the right to do that. Even after hearing this over and over, the man wouldn't budge. The officer told him that ignoring a trespass warning would mean arrest. Still, he stayed seated and kept insisting he had done nothing wrong. At one point, when the officer tried to cuff him, he started resisting. He begged not to be arrested and said he would leave.
Right. We're 10-4.
Alright, I'll leave.
What did he say?
I'll leave.
You're right, you will leave.
Yeah. Oh, this could have been avoided, though.
Yeah, I've been talking this whole time, man. I don't want to do this. Stand up.
Stand up.
Eventually, another officer joined in. They had a quick conversation, confirming that the man had no weapons or harmful items. They checked his shoes as required before taking someone to jail. The man seemed surprised that it had reached this point, but the officer told him that it didn't have to happen this way. If he had walked out when asked, there would have been no arrest.
Just a light?
What?
Is that just a light?
Can you bring me home?
Nope. Nah, man, you're going to jail. You got plenty of time to leave. Nah. That's it, man. He was talking to you long before I even got here.
Fuck.
Told him we were 15.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Nothing crazy in your shoes or nothing, right? I'm not going to search them, but if you bring it to the jail, you're going to get in trouble for it. You're not going to bring anything in, right?
Well, am I honestly going to jail?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how many times I had to warn you. I don't want to do this, man. I'd rather be doing something a little more useful, right? Nothing in your shoes, correct?
If you have anything in your shoes, if you
Besides
bring it
socks and feet?
into the jail, it's going to be a felony. On top of the charge that you already got. So, do you have anything in your shoes?
Wrong?
Okay, I guess we got to search them. Cool. Go ahead and sit down.
Wait, search what?
Your shoes.
I don't
Sit
have
down.
anything.
You don't have anything. Go ahead and kick them off.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and sit down. Sit down. Keep your seatbelt on, please, in case we get T-boned.
After being taken into custody, the man's emotions became even more intense. He sat in the patrol car and began speaking loudly about how other police departments had mistreated him. He said that in another city, he had been wrongly tased, but he praised the current officers, saying they were better and more professional. Then his behavior became strange and disturbing. He made personal and graphic claims about an ex-girlfriend that had no connection to the arrest. He said things that were shocking and completely unrelated. This suggested he was under extreme emotional stress or possibly trying to divert attention from the charges he was now facing. The officer focused on doing the job correctly and reminded the man to keep his hands behind his back. When the man tried to bring his handcuffs to the front, the officer warned him that doing that could lead to more charges. At one point, he even called for another officer to return to help handle the situation. The man was asked to sit properly, and the officers made sure he was safely secured. He was now officially charged with criminal trespassing, resisting arrest. What could have been a short and peaceful departure had turned into a legal problem that might follow him for a long time. The dealership had a right to remove someone who was no longer an employee. The police had tried to handle things with calm and patience, but once the guy refused to follow directions, there was no other option.
I will look at him before we leave, okay? What are you doing? If you're putting your hands in front of you, it's another charge.
Fuck! Ow! Ow!
What are you doing?
Ow! Officer, please! Can you
What are you doing, my man?
Oh, fuck!
Why are you bringing your handcuffs in front?
Because...
That's another charge. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's against the law.
Alright, I didn't do it.
Step back.
Oh, fuck. Oh. Ow! Take him off!
Hey, Boozy, can you come back out here for a sec? All right, go down and have a seat.
Take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
St. Petersburg police knows better. St. Petersburg police knows better. St. Petersburg police knows better. St. Petersburg police. Let's go, St. Petersburg police. Let's fucking go. I love St. Petersburg police. I love St. Petersburg police because they know how to do their fucking job. St. Petersburg police knows how to do their fucking job. I got falsely tased in Naples. St. Petersburg police didn't tase me. They're not criminals. Black lives matter. All lives fucking matter. My ex-girlfriend used to hump my dog.
Used to do what?
Hump my dog. And used to let her fucking little kid do it too. And she used to run around the house naked with her kid in the house and rub her naked body all over her kid. Disgusting, right?
But now if you believe that's crazy, then I'm sure you haven't seen this guy at your right-hand side.